They told him it was over. Not loudly. Not directly. But in whispers. In looks. In headlines that sounded polite but smelled like goodbye. He's still great, for his age. He can still score, sometimes. He's a legend, but legends fade. Cristiano Ronaldo heard all of it. And he remembered something important. They said the same thing before. Before the trophies. Before the Ballon d'Ors. Before the packed stadiums chanting his name like a prayer. Before the body that looked less like a human and more like a sculpture carved by discipline itself. They said it when he was a skinny kid from Madeira. And that's where this story really begins. A boy from the edge of the map. Madeira is not where football legends are supposed to be born. It's an island. Beautiful. Quiet. Remote. The kind of place people visit on vacation, not the kind of place the world watches for greatness. Cristiano grew up in a small house, in a family that didn't have much money, but had something rarer, hunger. Not hunger for food, hunger for escape. Hunger for more. Hunger to prove that where you start does not define where you finish. His father worked as a kit man at a local football club. His mother worked multiple jobs. There was no luxury. No safety net. No backup plan. Only football. Only the ball. Only the dream. While other kids played for fun, Cristiano played like his life depended on it, because, in a way, it did. He cried when he lost. He trained when others rested. He watched older players and copied everything, their movements, their habits, their discipline. Even then, people noticed something strange. This kid didn't just love football. He obsessed over it. The first goodbye. At just 12 years old, Cristiano left his family to join Sporting CP's academy in Lisbon. 12. No parents. No familiar streets. No safety. Just a suitcase, a bed in a dormitory, and the quiet fear that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't good enough. Other boys laughed at his accent. They mocked the way he spoke. They mocked where he came from. Cristiano didn't laugh back. He trained. Harder. Longer. Angrier. Pain became fuel. Loneliness became focus. Doubt became fire. Most kids break at that age. Cristiano sharpened himself. Talent is not enough. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Talent is common. Discipline is rare. Sporting had talented players everywhere. But Cristiano had something different. When training ended, he stayed. When lights went off, he kept going. When others joked, he visualized goals. Coaches noticed. Not just his speed. Not just his technique. But his mentality. He wanted to be the best, not someday, but inevitably. At 16, he trained with Sporting's first team. At 17, he made his professional debut. And then came the night that changed everything. One game. One man. One destiny. August 2003. Sporting CP vs Manchester United. A friendly match. Nothing special on paper. But football doesn't care about paper. Cristiano destroyed United's defense. Stepovers. Acceleration. Confidence that bordered on arrogance. United's players were stunned. One man watched silently from the sidelines. Sir Alex Ferguson. He didn't see a kid. He saw a weapon. A future. A storm. By the time the match ended, United players were begging Ferguson to sign him. Not suggesting. Begging. Entering the lion's den. Manchester United was not kind to young players. Especially not flashy ones. Especially not skinny ones. Especially not teenagers with tricks and dreams bigger than their bodies. Cristiano arrived in England as a boy. And England tried to break him. Fans called him a show-off. Opponents kicked him. Pundits questioned his end product. He cried after matches. He trained harder after criticism. Sir Alex protected him, but never softened him. You can be great, Ferguson said. But only if you work like greatness owes you money. Cristiano listened. And something dangerous began to form. The body, the mind, the obsession. Most players rely on talent. Cristiano built a system. Diet. Sleep. Training. Recovery. Mental focus. While teammates went out, he stayed in. While others relaxed, he studied his body like a scientist. He didn't want to be good. He wanted to be unbreakable. Slowly, the skinny boy disappeared. Muscle replaced doubt. Confidence replaced fear. Goals replaced criticism. By 2008, Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't just a promising player. He was the best footballer on the planet. Ballon d'Or. Champions League. Global stardom. He had everything. Except peace. Why this matters. Most stories would end here. But this story isn't about success. It's about time. Because time is the real enemy. And time was already watching. Success changes most people. It makes them comfortable. It makes them careless. It makes them believe the hardest part is over. Cristiano Ronaldo reacted differently. Success made him paranoid. Because deep down, he understood a truth most athletes ignore. The world doesn't wait. And time never forgives. The most expensive man alive. In 2009, Cristiano Ronaldo became the most expensive football player in history. Real Madrid paid a world record fee to bring him to Spain. $96 million. Cameras followed his every step. Fans filled the Santiago Bernabéu just to watch him walk onto the pitch. Expectations were not high, they were inhuman. He wasn't just expected to play well. He was expected to replace legends. To dominate. To win everything. To justify every dollar. And there was one name hanging in the air like a shadow. Lionel Messi. A rivalry that defined an era. Messi was magic. Natural. Effortless. Gifted. Ronaldo was different. He was built. Every sprint calculated. Every jump measured. Every weakness attacked. Spain didn't just get a superstar. It got a work ethic that scared people. Teammates noticed something unsettling. Ronaldo didn't celebrate wins long. He didn't relax after trophies. He didn't slow down. He asked questions like, how can I jump higher? How can I run faster at 30? How can I score more next year? Not if. How? Obsession becomes a lifestyle. Most players train to stay in shape. Ronaldo trained to defy biology. Cryotherapy chambers. Precision nutrition. Customized recovery cycles. Sleep broken into controlled segments. This wasn't vanity. This was strategy. He treated his body like a billion-dollar company, because it was. Doctors were shocked. Fitness coaches were confused. Scientists were impressed. His biological age tested years younger than his actual age. While others peaked and declined, Ronaldo kept climbing. And the goals kept coming. Records, haters, and silent fear. Goals in La Liga. Goals in the Champions League. Hat-tricks. Finals. Titles. On the outside, he looked unstoppable. On the inside, something else was growing. Fear. Not fear of failure. Fear of decline. Because every athlete knows the question eventually arrives. What happens when the legs slow down? Ronaldo refused to wait for the answer. The moment he declared war on age. Most players adapt after decline begins. Ronaldo adapted before it ever showed. He changed his game. Less wasted movement. More positioning. More efficiency. More intelligence. He studied strikers. Studied timing. Studied space. Speed fades. Instinct doesn't. At an age when others were losing minutes, Ronaldo was winning matches. People stopped criticizing quietly. They criticized loudly. He's still good. But he's aging. But he's not the same. But football has moved on. The same words. Again. Different decade. Different stadium. Same mistake. Because what critics never understood was simple. Cristiano Ronaldo was never chasing youth. He was chasing evolution. 5 Champions Leagues. 0 comfort. 5 Champions League titles. Multiple Ballon d'Or awards. Global icon status. Any rational person would slow down. Ronaldo didn't. He left Real Madrid. Not because he was finished. But because he needed a new enemy. And that enemy was time itself. A new country. A new test. Italy. Juventus. A league known for tactics, defense, and physical wear. Pundits smiled. This will expose him. It's too late. He's past his prime. Ronaldo smiled too. And then he scored. And scored. And scored again. Different league. Same result. Because discipline travels. Why this part matters. This is where the story shifts. This is no longer about talent or trophies. This is about a man refusing expiration. About redefining what old means in elite sport. About proving that age is not a wall. It's a negotiation. Age is not a barrier. Cristiano Ronaldo. The world laughed when Cristiano Ronaldo went to Saudi Arabia, calling it retirement disguised as ambition. Ronaldo called it a new frontier, a place where pressure would return and excuses would disappear. While others counted his age, he counted his goals, his training hours, and the standards he refused to lower. At an age when most legends fade into memories, he became proof that discipline can outwork time itself. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't fight aging, he redefined it, leaving behind a message the world can't ignore: age is not a barrier, unless you decide it is.